Jimmy House, Jimmy Mansion, what's going on, buddy?
Good, good. We are here to present Powerhouse Pre-Workout.
Powerhouse Pre-Workout. This is the Jimmy House Fueled Supplements collaboration. Can we call it of the century, of the decade, of the millennium? What do we want to call it?
The first of many.
The first of many. We have a few different products that are going to be being introduced in our Powerhouse Jimmy House inspired line. We'll get to those products and definitely deliver a lot of the great happenings. But what are we here to do today?
So today we want to introduce the product,
Cool.
talk about the flavors that we got, talk about some of the reviews that we've gotten already in the first month, and then for people like me that don't really know how to dissect the supplement label, Josh is going to talk and educate us rather, about the different ingredients in it, why it makes it stand out above the rest. Obviously, Josh is very well known in his own supplements, but also with that very educated with supplements in the industry in a whole.
First and foremost, I guess, what do you feel about the label, the look of the label, and what that turned out to be? Get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so if you've seen Fuel supplements, they have a very clean white label that is just very aesthetically pleasing. When it comes to this one, obviously with the new line, it's a complete, almost like, I don't know if I want to use the term grungy, but just like very hardcore, like just the graffiti in it is very unique. I like the duct tape here. They use one of the pictures that I took flexing on Muscle Beach. And then the Powerhouse label itself is very, very unique. Something that I personally haven't seen before.
Yeah, it is a very unique label. So shout out to Chris Waldrum to really helping us put together this unique label. So it's got like a matte little finish on it, and then it's got some accents and adds some like definition and some dexterity to the label. I think like this is something you put in your hand and you know exactly what you're going to be getting out of this product. So one thing too is we wanted to match the product with two other things. I think is matching the terms of the aesthetics. We wanted to match the aesthetic with two things. Number one, the ingredient profile, and number two, how it tastes. So you've had some time to try Beach House, Hulk Smash, and then Rocket Power. Which one's your favorite? And then talk a little bit about how it tastes.
Yeah, honestly, I've always been biased towards any like green apple or lemon lime type.
Flavor.
Yeah, it's just always been my go-to. So this one was the first one I tried. Extremely accurate flavor right off the bat. But the other ones are great too, between the Beach House and then the Bomb Pop over here. Bomb Pop's going to represent like actual like bomb,
Yeah,
or
like
bomb,
a popsicle.
like an
You ever had
actual
the
popsicle. Yeah. The Beach House, how would you describe that one?
Like a party in your mouth almost. Yeah.
Like lemonade kind of ish.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of a few different flavors. It's like pineapple, strawberry, and mango. Yeah. So it's going to be like a more of a fruity flavor, but I feel like it's not like too overbearing in terms of like sweetness, especially if you put enough water into the mixture.
And we've always found that a good amount of ice is like the perfect complement to like honestly any of the Fueled supplement products. Like it makes the taste phenomenal.
Especially with this new wave of this like TikTok era of people putting, the dry scooping.
Yeah.
Ultimately this product is not designed to be dry scooped. So we don't suggest dry scooping. We suggest using about 12 ounces of water, throwing a little bit of ice in there, and just having it and just sipping it on your way to the gym. So before I really break down the profile in terms of like what the profile looks like, why this stands out, I just want to get your overall feedback in terms of like your personal experience, your performance, and then like what type of feedback have you heard from the people that have reached out to you that have tried it?
Yeah, absolutely. So with my personal experience so far, unfortunately, I haven't had to do any heavy lifting because I just hurt my knee. So the squats and deadlifts will wait for the Powerhouse review. But thus far with upper body, the pumps have been extremely good. It almost feels like a pump specific product that you would take or something that you would have to supplement outside of it with like nitric oxide pills or what have you. But that feels like it's all in this pre-workout. So that's number one. Number two, the energy is very clean and focused, and myself as well as a lot of other people that have reached out to me talk about how they don't feel a crash. I've never felt any crash from Fueled supplements products, but from this one specifically, the people that have tried it, not having tried Fueled supplements prior, really mentioned the not crashing afterwards.
Yeah,
which is huge, obviously. For me, I've taken it fasted. I've taken it with food. I don't feel nauseous in either way. That's my personal experience. And it's something where, I've been able to do my 2-3 hour sessions in the morning just fine. And then it also, in some effect, I think helps me carry on throughout the day as well when I'm getting work done or teaching class and all those different things.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you really broke that down. And I've been receiving a lot of the same feedback, just full transparency. And I feel like I've always been very transparent when it comes to pre-workout formulas. It's like I'm a very low stim or no stim type of guy. So I don't utilize pre-workout a lot, to be honest with you. I've taken a full scoop of this a handful of times, like plenty of times to be able to give myself a good, to have the product, to receive a good representation of like what this product is, how it delivers. And I feel like that's what we really wanted to design with this product overall, is like looking at your style of training, which is really like a power building. Would you agree? Like a power building style of training where you want to get the best of both worlds. Could we make a product that, we've made our high stim products that are like really good for like high output deadlifting squat days, but don't have much in terms of pump. With you, we really wanted to really bring in the full total package. You're doing a lot of power building, so you're doing those high output lifts with the deadlifts, with the squats. I mean, you're doing these high output lifts, but you're also doing some muscle building as well. You're doing some hypertrophy work. You're getting a fucking nasty pump on, etc. And so we wanted to be able to have somebody that wants either a pump, strength, endurance, focus, hydration, literally all in one product, and gives the consumer the ability to be able to utilize the versatility of this product. Because the first thing that I'm going to say about this is we're not skimping out in terms of our ingredient profiles. So that's something that we truly take pride in is our ingredient dosing, and efficacy. Efficacy is at top of our list. Putting the efficacious dose in the products for the consumer to get the most out of it. Most companies, we call it fairy dust their products and make it look like there's ingredients. But us, man, we want to deliver a punch, and we want to make sure you maximize the ingredient profile. We have this product broken up into 5 different blends, but not These aren't proprietary blends. When I say blends, it's a blend and then a couple ingredients, and then we're full label disclosure as well. The whole industry at this point should be full label disclosure. So if you're taking a supplement that's got a proprietary blend, like stop taking that product like right now. Like even if you don't take field, utilize a brand and a product that's having full label disclosure, like letting you know exactly how much of each ingredient's into it. I think almost the entire industry is at that point, because like if you're not, you're really getting lost in the industry. But we have a few different blends. We have a hormonal blend in here, which I'll break down. Our natural hormonal blend. That's why Jimmy House looks the way he looks, is because we have our hormonal blend in here. We have an endurance and pump blend. Endurance and pump blend. We have a cellular hydration blend and a multi-stage caffeine blend and a cerebral energy blend. So obviously in the very front of the pre-workout, it's just testosterone enhancing pre-workout. And so when we first started to design this, what was your question to us when we put that on there?
The first one I thought of was like, people are gonna take out the quote and then be like, oh, Jimmy House is on testosterone.
Right.
Which is not what the pre-workout does. We don't have test in here, literally. But there are a lot of ingredients that do help essentially complement your body's natural test and help the production of that.
And everything that's in this product in terms of our natural hormonal blend is, once again, naturally derived. A big product right now, a big ingredient right now that's hit the market and all through social media is KSM 66 ashwagandha. So KSM 66 is the trademarked version of ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb. It's actually really, really good for cortisol, lowering stress levels. It's adaptogenic herb, so it actually really helps combat a lot of stress buildup, stress resiliency, but it's being utilized here in the form of natural hormonal production in terms of testosterone. Now, in and of itself, is it going to make your numbers jump off the charts into the 2000s? Absolutely not. Now, is it going to supplement and really cater to a demographic that wants to naturally increase and maximize their natural testosterone production? Absolutely. The second thing in there, we'd love to throw in some horny goat weed. Makes you feel good, gives you that that little bit of like edge, you know what I'm saying? Like on the prowl, on the hunt type of edge. And then last but not least, and I really feel that this in and of itself is an ingredient that really gets overlooked in the market, is boron. Boron is a mineral. They did a study on boron, and the study actually showed that it helped free up testosterone. So testosterone gets bounded in a couple different ways and aromatized into estrogen. It actually, so many people get lost in the sauce in terms of total testosterone. Oh, my number is 800 or 900 or 1,000 or whatever their total number is. Well, free testosterone is really the kicker. So free testosterone is the available testosterone that is utilized in the body at any given time that's not bound up. So when it says unbound, that means it's free. So you want to be able to raise your free testosterone levels. There's a study on boron that shows that it increased free testosterone in young males up to 28%.
Is the benefits of the natural testosterone boosting for that given person, should that be, is that taking this every single day, 5 times a week, or can 3 times a week work, or
Yep.
does it necessarily matter?
That's a good question. Yeah, a few times a week work. Now, no times a week it's not going to work. 1 time a week you're probably not going to get the benefit out of it. But as you use it, absolutely.
Okay.
As needed. But once again, there's like a couple ingredients in here that you should also, if you're not taking this all the time, just that I suggest, just full transparency. But if you're taking this like you would a normal pre-workout 3 to 4 times a week, you're definitely getting most of the benefit out of that, like on command.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
So really moving into the next section is the endurance and pump blend, which is absolutely stacked. We got 5 grams. Excuse me. We got 5 grams of straight creatine monohydrate. We have 6 grams of straight citrulline. A lot of companies use citrulline malate, but that's straight citrulline. And then we use 1.5 milligrams of nitrosogene, which is arginine, stabilized arginine. But nitrosogene is also a trademarked and patented ingredient. So when a ingredient gets trademarked and patented, that means it has to go through certain specific quality control protocols, and it has to meet these standards in order to be patented. And then when a product is patented, then it has to go through clinical trials. And then when the clinical data is received, then that product becomes patented, saying it's in its clinical effective dose.
Okay.
So nitrosogene is actually something that we utilize in a lot of our products. So increases vasodilation by increasing nitric oxide within the bloodstream. So increases nitric oxide, so as enhances vasodilation, which all in turn then increases blood flow. So between 6 grams of citrulline and then creatine monohydrate really helps with power output and endurance.
Okay.
Between the citrulline, the creatine, and the nitrosogene, if we were just to stop there, dude, that would be a friggin' nasty pump. So like that's what you're feeling when you're utilizing this product, is the pump index on this is going to be very, very high because of those three ingredients within that blend.
Okay.
So then now moving into the cellular hydration portion of this is where I think is a key component of this product as well, especially if you're a power lifter or somebody that's a high output power builder and or just a bodybuilder, dude, or just somebody wanting to utilize this product in your day-to-day training session. This cellular hydration blend is exceptional. So betaine anhydrous, coconut water, pink Himalayan sea salt, and then potassium chloride. A lot of times, that's another thing that I've seen on social media. A lot of people are really big on, getting your salt into your pre-workout. Why would you go through all that hassle? Like, we just add that in there. You have to utilize some sodium. Sodium is often looked at as to like this like bad guy, but in reality, it's really not a bad guy. It's a good guy in many ways. But sodium is definitely a key aspect in terms of cellular hydration, because you have to hold on to some of the water. Because if without that, then you wouldn't be able to hold it, and you'll just kind of go through the body. So now moving into the multi-stage caffeine. So what were you saying earlier about the multi-stage caffeine on like what people were saying to you?
Yeah, they just mentioned how they didn't feel a crash. And for me, I felt like, you have a peak of energy, obviously, but I don't necessarily feel like it was a huge drop. It just kind of carried on throughout the day to where by the time bed comes around, and I lift in the mornings for the most part now, but by the time bed comes around, I'm ready to go to bed by normal bedtime. And, I'm alert during the classes that I teach or the clients that I work with. And it's a very like, if this is like the peak of the pre-workout, towards bedtime, like it might lower like at a line like this very, very subtly as you would like want,
Cool. Which is awesome, because that's exactly how we designed this product. We We didn't design this product. It does have a pretty, so between the multi-stage caffeine and then going into the bottom portion of the cerebral energy blend, between those two, there's over 750 milligrams of total stimulant. So once again, this isn't for the faint of heart, but if you're a seasoned veteran when it comes to pre-workouts and or somebody drinking a bang or 2 bangs a day, or most people in this world are definitely drinking more caffeine than they need. This product is definitely not going to be something that sends you off the edge, but should definitely have you feeling really, really good without having too much anxiety. Now, it's got a couple different forms of caffeine in there. So with the caffeine, the dicaffeine in the form of Infinergy, okay, that's a delayed form of caffeine. So you're getting 250 megs of anhydrous right off the get-go. So you're going to feel like that initial ascension in terms of your energy. And then you're going to have another 100 between the T-Caf green, which is the natural green tea from tea leaves, and then the dicaffeine malate. So that's an extra 100. So that's 350 megs total of caffeine in there, but 250 hits you initially, and then last 100 is going to be a little bit delayed. So that you're going to feel like this initial ascension incline in your energy, and then you're going to feel it a little bit more, because what we wanted to do is while you're working out, especially if you're training high intensity training, if you're having high output power building workouts or even powerlifting sessions, is you want to be able to sustain that energy. A lot of pre-workouts, you'll feel that initial like woo out the gates, like a bull seeing red, and then all of a sudden, dude, you'll be like after your first or second top set and you'll crash. So how we designed this honestly was a power lifter of mine. What do you do? What are the 3 main lifts in powerlifting?
Squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah. So after you did your squat, all of a sudden you just crashed. Then what you would, I see a lot of people at powerlifting meets doing more of this, right? You're just taking more stimulant.
Stuff and candy.
Stuff and candy, all sorts of different things. So we had that in mind of being able to have sustained energy with high output with our power lifters. Well, this is good for everybody because, if you don't want all the caffeine to hit you like right on the spot, that's okay, because you're going to feel the sustained energy. And to be honest with you, you don't need 500-600 milligrams of straight caffeine, because we've included some other cerebral blends in here and some other forms of stimulants that are much more cerebral and cognitive. They're going to increase cognitive function, neurocognition, and it's going to really increase that mind muscle, that clarity, euphoria, that sense of concentration and that focus, without necessarily totally ramping your central nervous system and giving you that shakiness. One thing that's really cool about this product is that KSM 66 actually starts, remember I told you it's an adaptogenic herb, so it actually is going to mellow out some of the anxious feeling and effects. We've utilized L-theanine before to do this in our blends. That's why a lot of people really love our pre-workouts. We've utilized some L-theanine, but we're actually using KSM 66 ashwagandha pretty much for the same thing. So it's going to chill out some of the anxious and the angst feeling that you get from pre-workouts. So we designed it to have a really good lift-off, sustained energy once again, and then on the bottom, the cerebral energy blend just to close it all out. We have the bitter orange, synephrine, theobromine, the hordenine, and the rare generis, and to be honest with you, like that is such an exceptional blend in terms of focus, cognition, feel good.